What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here. We are back to talk about some of the reveals for Tennocon 2022. This is going to be the main event. There's going to be little sprinkles of information in here from some of the other panels that go hand in hand with some of the stuff, but it is mostly going to pertain to the main event, and we're going to be leaving out one specific reveal, which has to do with the Soulframe whole ordeal. I say ordeal, but the Soulframe new game. There is some changes to the team at Digital Extremes, which I will talk about more in depth when I do that video. There's a little controversy there, even though I personally think it is a good thing for the studio. Very excited to see how that unfolds, but there's some more details that I'm going to go into on another video, dedicate some time to that, and I want to give my opinion partially because I think from the outside looking in, some people are going to see this in a negative light, and after meeting some of these developers, I think this is actually a very good step, and will be very good for the careers of many of the developers for Digital Extremes. So anyways, that'll be a whole nother video. The focus of this video is going to revolve, we'll get some of the little stuff out of the way first. That is going to be things like the deluxe skins. One of them dropped today. Deluxe skin, I made a video on that. If you would like to check that out, feel free. That has to do with Titania's new Donin skin, which is a crazy jet set cyber like design, which I think looks pretty darn cool. Lots of cool stuff there. Very cool aesthetic. I don't know. Some of you guys already have let me know how awesome you think it is and have picked it up already. So that's very cool. On top of that, there is the Protea Deluxe, which there was pretty much zero mention of the Protea Deluxe in the entire stream, except there was a tidbit seen in one of the trailers for the Protea Deluxe. So it does look like it is not only a thing, but it has appeared to be meshed up and kind of almost looks pretty much ready to go, but for whatever reason, it did not release. So there may be some little polishing that needs to go on before it releases. So I'm assuming that's going to be coming very, very soon. Korra Prime is now a thing. There was a Korra release trailer, which is pretty cool. I personally think the skin looks very, well, but the Korra Prime looks very cool. The Venari Prime thing, the kitty cat, looks very cool as well. I personally don't play Korra all that much. I know she has her uses. So right now I'm kind of on the fence about it. I may just farm Korra Prime, but it's cool. It's there if you would like to pick that up. But speaking of new Warframes, there are 2 new Warframes coming. One of which caught me by surprise. So this, number one, the little trailer that revealed it is in an animated, almost comic-like style, and which is pretty interesting. This is Cytonax. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is a really interesting frame. Very little, actually, you can tell from the animated portion, but this frame appears to wield a shield and spear, and I'm under the assumption the spear, at least, probably spear and shield, are going to be an exalted weapon. I don't know, it just looks really interesting. He does summon it just like out of the blue, so it does appear as though it is some sort of exalted type weapon. So interesting design. Gives me like a paladin type feel. Some sort of tankier melee combat unit that maybe is able to take some damage, or maybe even like, I don't know, take in damage and maybe dish it back out and hurt enemies. I don't know, something along those lines. Looks pretty cool. I'm actually really excited for this one, even though there was very little to see in terms of the concept. And then secondly is what I thought was going to be the 50th Warframe, because there was a contest to vote for the next Warframe, And a lot of those concepts were very, very cool. However, this one was based around the werewolf idea. I don't know if it's turning into specifically just a wolf frame, or if it's going to have some sort of transformation to be technically considered werewolf frame. I don't know. But the concept for this one, this is purely concept. There's no other observations other than the concept art. But this appears to have transformed from more of a masculine werewolf kind of concept into a feminine concept, going from a claw-oriented Warframe with, I guess they had to stay away from the idea of claws and fur. So it developed from a more masculine shape, from what I believe in the early concepts, to a feminine, I don't know, just I don't want to say Valkyr. Everything is supposed to be unique. They don't want Warframes to piggyback or fall too close to other Warframes. They're supposed to be unique in their own way. So I'm getting a more bite-oriented, teethy, maw, aggressive female wolf frame. And I don't know how they're going to make this different. In the final concept you'll see, there are these what seem to be like ethereal wolf-like faces that hover around the concept. Maybe that's just for visual representation or something, but it would be cool to almost see like a summon-like or pack mentality of wolfy, Kubro, aggressive spirits or something. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool, but we'll see. Maybe that's too crazy, far-fetched. But I don't know. Abstract idea that I think would be pretty cool to see implemented in some way. But very excited for this. Very cool looking in every way, shape, or form, especially being a female. So excited about this one for sure. What I'm not all that excited about is I did recently record a video that I didn't make live because I basically uploaded it and didn't get around the time to getting everything set up before Tennocon to release it to you guys. And with one of the revelations in Warframe, I'm going to have to go back and re-record that video because some things have changed. This has to do with the Warframe Veilbreaker update that is going to be making its way into the game, and this appears to give us control or the ability to play as Call. I don't know if it's going to be exclusively be Call from the New War update. You guys are probably familiar with the New War trailer, last year's Tennocon, and of course a lot of you have played through the New War. This Grineer unit that we get to meet, and we see some gameplay of us as a Grineer unit, I'm assuming Call, and we're battling one of the Thumpers, and I'm sure there's going to be other bosses in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if this is going to be fully implemented as like Warframe combat, like basically you drop in instance-based combat and run a mission as Call, or if you're, I'm assuming you're going to be able to do multiplayer with some other people and play as Grineer units and take on a boss or something. I really hope it's not some crazy elaborate battle royale, which, okay, that joke is kind of old and would be a horrible idea in my opinion, but some sort of ability to play as faction, at least Grineer, and run some sort of missions, which is pretty cool. It did appear as though one of the aesthetics in the trailer was Corpus oriented, so maybe Vago, Johnny? Anyways, the Corpus unit, that would be really cool to be able to play as any of the factions, especially the two of those, and do some boss fights or battles or something like that. It'd be interesting. My idea for the video that I wanted to put out was a lot of the written lore in game that hasn't been fleshed out and some future content. it would be interesting to flesh some of that content out, especially going on for the future, to maybe see some of these things in the eyes of the different factions in game. Maybe go back and see the crazy lore entries through the eyes of some of the Grineer units or something like that, because maybe it wasn't, the Warframes weren't around, or it's too complex for you to see it in the eyes of a Warframe for some reason or something. I don't know. I'm thinking more along the lines of like the what do you call them? The lore entries with the, where you go in the museum and you see like Nova's pirate like ship days back in the day, or Ash's assassin guild like thing, or Ivara's need to impress the Orokin from the hunt she went on. Those things, those lore entries, and other things like that. Maybe see those in some other way other than written or just vocals would be really cool. And maybe they do that in the future using this style, playing as other units other than our Warframes or operators. That'd be cool. But yeah, on top of that, some crazy new stuff. Kind of out of the blue. They are working with someone by the name of Joe Madureira, which some of you may recognize that name. Has worked on comics, including different Marvel entries. So this person, I believe his technical employment status would be a comic artist, is in the game space with the Airship Syndicate, is a studio that I believe he is either the producer or like a creative director for. And they're creating a new game, I guess, with a partnership with Warframe. And I don't know if it's going to be within the lore of Warframe or if it's just, I mean, I'd have to imagine it's somewhere in the lines of Warframe's lore history, but I'm almost wondering if they're going, do not be a battle royale. Gosh darn it, do not be a battle royale. I was thinking more top-down strategy or League of Legends, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. There is a little bit of footage there as they talk in the trailer, but I don't know how much we can go off of because we don't even have a title for the game yet. So there's very little to be discussed. They are going to announce more details in an upcoming event. I think they said Game Awards. Anyways, so that's yet to be discovered, but it's interesting. Warframe doesn't have the best history with doing games in tandem with Warframe on the side, like the what was that game called? See, I can't even remember. Keystone. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I wish the best. They are owned by a gigantic company now, so the funding is there, and it's interesting. I'm optimistic for it. I'd love to see what happens, what comes out of that. But the major reveal for the new game, Soulframe, if you don't know, new game, Soulframe, it makes me very nervous because, like I said, the history with other games in tandem with Warframe. So we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. I'm excited. The future of Warframe seems pretty crazy. And lastly, for the major reveal, well, besides Soulframe, is the Deviri Paradox. Of course, a very interesting open world. So it has been officially labeled as open world, but it's unique. It's different from the previous open worlds we've seen in the past. And the quest, at least, is done with the Drifter. So if you're not familiar with who the Drifter is, I don't know how you've made it this far in terms of, you could. You want to know what's going on with the game. The Drifter, a character you will get to know after you have made it through the New War. This character is going to be the main focus of the quest, and It's interesting. It's loophole, or not loophole. It's like a paradox, alternate dimension kind of thing, but almost like nightmarish. Like you're reliving the same day over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden something changes, and you can change you can kind of stop reliving the same day over again. It's kind of the idea I'm getting here, as long as you take the proper steps and free yourself from this horrible time paradox that you are reliving every day. This was not really what I was expecting, to be honest, and I'm excited for the future and the things that Digital Extremes is capable of doing, especially because of how creative their ideas are. But I don't know. I'm just not as hyped for this as I was a lot of the other releases of previous years. While I'm absolutely going to play it, and I hope I love it, this is different. And I'm not saying different's bad, but it does make me a little bit more nervously optimistic. So I don't know. I can't wait to experience it. They did say that we're going to have the ability to utilize our entire loadouts. So at some point, I have to assume that we're going to have all of our Warframes and whatever and be able to traverse this world. But I'm assuming that's going to be after the quests, or at least part of the way through the quests, because it does seem like you're limited at first to the Drifter. And that makes me wonder how, I don't want to say how big is this open world, because the size isn't necessarily important, but the depth. How much is really going to be interactable on this open world? Is it just going to fall by the wayside in a few months and we're going to want something different and just, I don't know. I said I don't know a lot, but what do I say from here? I don't know. We saw Teshin. Teshin was in a totally different state. Very interesting. This alternate time paradox, whatever. Future, past, neither. I mean, Warframe is getting into this eternal. What was the proper infinitarium? I don't know. This theory that time is not linear and it's more cyclical, or all existences can exist all at the same time with no linear design. Anyways, eternalism? I think that's the term. So how is this going to play into everything we know up until this point? And will we be pulled out of this paradox? Will we be pulled back into the previous universe? Will we always reside in this universe? I don't know. Will characters we meet in the future be different because of this paradox? There's a lot of questions, but we'll see. We get dual katanas like I predicted, except our operator is going to wield them, and I don't know if we go into like a Souls-like battle with a Dax-like Paradox Duviri soldier. So it's crazy. They refer to us as king a few times, which our character seems to be like, what are you talking about? So I don't know. Anyways, that's kind of my thoughts. We'll go into depth on this big reveal in another video, but there's a lot, and not a whole lot at the same time, because nothing was like full gameplay. This is exactly what you can expect. It'll be here soon. There was none of that. A lot of questions, but I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm all over the place with my thoughts on all of this. very optimistic for the future of Warframe, but at the same time, not as optimistic about like what. I can't confidently tell you what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be playing, based on any of these. Yeah, even the Warframes were vague. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. I really would love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to be all over the place when it comes to listening to other people's thoughts, but I wanted to get this out there first because I didn't want my thoughts and theories to be skewed by other people's opinions. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I may do a follow-up video based on some of the revelations that come out. I'll see you guys again in the next video. Blow!